And I was like,
That's even worse. 'Cause it's
grab
like,
my
why
shit,
you
put it back over me, and tucked into it like I burrito rolled myself.
Yeah, that's me for sure. Like you ain't gonna get it this
Bitch, you
time.
want to take it this time, right?
You got to pull hard. Yeah.
Bet you what it do?
Yo, 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 yo.
Welcome back to another episode of More to Discuss. I am your host, NunFlyyer, joined by my beautiful daughter and co-host, ToJo.
Detosh.
What up with it, girlie?
Nothing much, man. Just, I ain't gonna lie, I was knocked out.
Yeah, no, I see you in your relaxed state.
Like, I was knocked out.
I
But
had to
come out.
change hands.
I had to come out of the.
Out of the slumber.
I don't know. I've been resting a lot lately, so I don't know. It's tired. Shit.
So, which is crazy because our show is about mental health, and I believe a good nap is good for your mental health.
Oh, man, yeah. I feel like a new girl. So, with that being said, yes.
So, how are you? How is your mental health?
Wow, that's a good question.
We gotta start
When
off.
you try to answer it without thinking about it, then you got to think about it for a second. I'm great. I am happy as I've been in a long time mentally, and it's reflecting on my outer life, and it's so peaceful. So I'm great. Like that little voice in my head is so quiet and it's beautiful. How are you? How's your mental health?
Fair.
Okay.
No highs, no lows. Pretty even killed. You know what I'm saying? I try not to let a lot of bullshit tie me down. I travel light. So, it's pretty easy. You know what I mean? For me, plus, I love everybody and everybody love me. I try not to let a lot of bullshit, like I said, weigh my mental down, man. I mean, the shit that I go through personally, I have it's not that bad. Hey, Ma.
Hey.
It's not bad at all. So I'm able to move throughout this world pretty comfortably, man. Mentally, physically. I'm saying it's pretty cool. I mean, everybody go through their stuff, but I'm pretty sure it's a lot of people worse than mine. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so we have a couple different topics. Our ultra producer done hooked us up because that's what he do.
Always.
We're gonna dip into the aspect of mental health from a celebrity perspective. Not only that though, with the whole Kanye and now the shooting with Quavo, I believe it's our people are going or have been through a lot of trauma.
Yeah.
And I believe that a lot of us don't know how to
express that or process
deal with it.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, I want to ask you this. Do you and your friends talk about your mental health?
Oh, all the time. That's like a big topic.
I mean, I don't mean like, oh, I bet you crazy. I mean, like,
no, like
literally have conversations.
Like very, very deep. Like, not gonna say any names, but I just had to talk somebody down, one of my friends, like 2 days ago, because the mental health ain't up to par. You know what I mean? And I've always been that kind of light for my friends, which I've been so thankful for, because regardless of what I'm going through, I've always been able to put on a strong face and be there if someone else needs it. And it's a blessing and a curse sometimes. But we definitely dig deep into the mental health thing, and anybody that I'm close with circle. Like me and my boyfriend do check-ins like naturally, like on a weekly basis. Like, so how are you feeling? Like literally, how is your mental health? Like those talks. I feel like it's important because not enough people in the world have people asking them, are they okay? And when people don't ask that, it's a disregarding feeling, which could go down into more disregarding feelings, which lead to, of course, like suicide or anger, or just treating people differently because you don't feel like anybody sees you or hears you. So I definitely make it important to have those conversations. I'm talking about with my mom, with everybody. I'm talking to everybody about their feelings because let me know what's going on in that head of yours. I'm not trying to have no school shooter vibes with nobody I hang out with. So let me know. What's going on in that head of yours?
So, how important do you think it is for okay? So I believe that therapy is something that can be done through,
Your peers and your family
and
members.
not necessarily your peers, but an elder person in your family that you trust. Like I believe
Sometimes yes and sometimes no.
I
Because
believe that there is, because I have an uncle that's like the gangster, this dude that I know in terms of being real and keeping it alive with me. I tell that dude everything, anything, especially if it's troubling me, like on some real shit.
yeah.
Um, because he's watched me closely throughout my whole life in different dynasties, so I know he understands. So I don't have no problem with throwing shit on him. But at that same time, though, I know a lot of people don't have that. So outside of your friends, how important is it for you to have somebody that somebody solid that can give you a different perspective from a different era or even a
Oh,
different.
very important. Me personally, I do have somebody older because I do have a slightly old soul. I don't like to take, not don't like to take advice from people my generation, but a lot of them are lost, so you can't really take that advice.
Right.
But yeah, I do have an older person like that, like you said, that's watching me from all different walks of life, and that gives me straight raw to the jaw, honest opinions, and and what I'm feeling is if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and if I'm right, I'm right, and she lets me know and she tells me that. So it is very important, especially when you're everybody else's backbone, because I'm not the type of person that takes on everybody's stuff and I carry it with me. I'm really like a diary. I just take it and it's there and throw it away somewhere. I don't hold it. I don't think about it. I don't, you know what I mean? So it's like, for me to have somebody like that is really important because it depends on what the situation is or who it is. I might linger in the thought and I gotta have somebody else to get my shit off to so that I have space to actually help the other person. Because if I'm just going through something myself and then I'm taking on everybody else up, sometimes it gets a little overwhelming. But that's why it's important for, bless you. That's why it is important for I feel like an older person to have somebody older to talk to about their mental health because it's not always understood. Like it's not always understood. And it
And
always translates
also,
as anger sometimes too.
I think it's dope having a person older because they've been through it, and seen a lot of it, even if they haven't went through it.
Yeah.
More 9 times out of 10, or to be fair, 7 to 8 times out of 10, they've been in close contact with people who've gone through it. You know what I'm saying? So I think those perspectives are important. How important do you think it is to get uh, strangers' input on anything that you may have going on outside of, because regardless whether you trust them or not, your people can be subjective. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
No,
They
that's
can
why
give you.
earlier we were saying I'm like, because sometimes it doesn't always be that easy. But I personally love getting outside advice. Like it's my favorite thing. I have such an open mind when it comes to what people say about me to me. It's like I take what they say and I'm like, okay, let me try to understand why they, you know what I'm saying? Or why, So it's like when the outside person, I don't know you. Like I'm the type of person, if I'm walking down the street having this group, so I'm like, hold on, sir, answer me this question right quick. Like I'm that kind of person.
Yeah, that's more of
It makes
impulse.
a difference to me. It makes a
That,
difference because it helps me understand what's going on.
but that's more of impulse. I mean, like, have you ever just was in a park and sat down next to a person and just had a conversation about just
Oh yeah,
random shit that you may
yeah,
be feeling and what's going on in the world or whatever. You know what I
definitely.
mean?
It mostly
Yeah,
happens
that
in the grocery store for me, but yeah, definitely.
right. I mean, I think that type of shit is dope, especially when they're willing to give you the time because they can give you honest opinions, even though it's theirs. It's
Yeah, it's
not
like
what
I
you're
don't really
used
know you,
to.
but from what I'm hearing, blah 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 blah, and it's like, yeah.
Right, and it's not what you're used to in terms of family, friends, or what have you.
Yes, everything is. I feel like to this question that's on the screen right here, like I feel like everything is violence rated. Like you get angry, you don't know how to talk it out, bing 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 bing, or pop 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 pop. You know what I mean? No one ever really sits back and talks about anything, and it's getting so bad to the point where like now people are dropping like flies.
It's a fear thing.
Yeah, 110%.
But I don't believe it's necessarily. I mean, it could have a lot to do with mental health, but I believe it's more of a bad example.
Okay.
Situational. I mean, a host of different things, man. A host of different things in terms of youth and violence, you know.
Yeah.
But I do believe a lot of it is fueled by trauma, so it just might be.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because man, on some total transparency, a lot of the bullshit that I went through, I caused on myself. I was raised by great people, so I think in the advent of me going through the bullshit that I went through, I always knew I could fall back on the fact that nigga, you knew better.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I think that it's one thing to try. I guess it's, I don't know, man, because nowadays everything is so in your face. Everything is so, if
Right.
you
Yeah.
don't, then you a punk, and it ain't even like
Yeah.
that. You know what I mean? Like if you don't walk around with a stick, or you ain't on social media talking shit about niggas you don't like you a buster, and that just ain't how that go. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, back in the day, I ain't gonna say now because niggas will kill a nigga and get right on the internet.
Oh, niggas
But
will kill
back
a
in the
nigga
day,
on the internet live.
right? Back in the day, it wasn't so. So I think a lot of mental health issues were hidden. I mean, I believe the internet opened our eyes to a lot of stuff because back in the day, niggas was dealing with shit, and wasn't nobody giving a fuck. You know what I'm saying? You didn't have this whole host of people that could probably feel your pain. You know what I mean? That could probably understand where you're coming from and fucking, try to talk you down. Because if you going on a cold bender or whatever, and your friend don't pick up the phone, then who you go talk to? You know what I'm saying? So I think that the internet, in terms of mental health, if you're the type of person that cares about constructive criticism or is really looking for a better way or some type of different opinion than the way you're feeling, from people that you care about or even from strangers, if that's what you're looking for, then it can help. But I also think it fuels a lot of a lot of a lot of like fire for the trauma. You know what I'm saying? Like people relate over the craziest, most violent, most
it's called
ridiculous
trauma
thing,
bonds.
right? And that has to be some type of mental health block. Like it has to be.
No, it is because instead of people flourishing and you know what I'm saying, leaving it behind or healing and moving on from it, a lot of people bask and fumigated it, and then they, Missouri loves company, so they draw more people in. It's like, oh, let's just use as an example. Oh, you've been raped before. Okay, yeah, let's just go. Because why would they do something like that to us? And da-da-da. Mind you, this happened 20, 30 years ago. But they're still fueling that fire off of something that they just cannot let go. And I feel like it's like a disease. It spreads. Like, it's crazy.
I also believe that conflict resolution should actually be a course, at the very least, an elective in high school.
Yes.
At the very least, an elective in high school.
Because folks don't know how to talk nothing out. Like,
right.
Talk or figure out the next step to make it easier.
Like, I have never been to a school with a debate club. I believe if all schools had righteous debate clubs, it'd be different.
Yeah.
But in terms of conflict resolution, because as Black people, man, especially Black people that was born and raised in some type of hood, in terms of gang banging, you resolve conflict by fist of gun. For the most part, niggas was getting socked out, yada yada yada.
Back in the day.
Yeah, right. That's what I said. Was
crazy.
Past tense, was getting socked out, yada yada yada, back in the day. But niggas was going home and then coming back out and socking on these same dudes, or perhaps even getting socked up by these same dudes 2-3 days later.
Yeah.
At a certain time,
it was more healthy.
Well, yeah, because at a certain time you either get better, and for people who got lazy and didn't want to get better, they start grabbing pistols. Just the fact that not only just youngsters but people in general are so, they have such a disregard for life.
There's no real moral life value these days.
It's shocking the shit out of me that our people are still, even after going through the 80s, being 80s baby and having a duck doing drive-bys. I mean, you know what I'm saying, and we on the second floor.
Yeah.
Second story is shit, still getting low, It's crazy to see that niggas ain't tired of this shit. It's just
it's like a trap in your mind. Like, it's what I feel like. And like you said, it's like a state of mind where people get in with fear. And I mean, you're fear ridden. I ain't gonna hold you. It's a lot of stuff that you'll do. Like, you really never know. Like, fear can take you to the craziest lengths because you worried about what somebody else gonna do to you. You done put it in your head 1,000 different ways how this could have went, how it's gonna go. So you need to be ready for any kind of way it's gonna go down. You know what I mean? And I feel like, now rolling into the topics that we have, for discussion today, the whole takeoff thing, it's fear ridden because you so used to being that person in the hood, or that person with that stature. Not speaking on him, but the person that caused everything that was going on around him.
Yeah, just in general, in terms of situation.
Yeah, that led to this happening. Y'all have these egos that's wrapped around these things, like they were shooting dice and stuff. So this is stepping into like the men's realm of egotistic and things like that. There's these egos that people have that bleed out all over the damn place. And you got 20, 30 other people looking at you, and you losing, or people talking or doing whatever, how it went down. You a millionaire. You know what I mean? But that ego, that fear of having somebody see you a certain type of way or talk to you a certain type of way led to a violent situation. And it cost somebody their life. That had nothing to do with it. So it's that fear, like you said, it's that fear written inside of people that whatever gonna happen, because I'm not finna walk away from here looking like a pussy, or I'm not finna walk away from here looking like a chump. You know what I mean? And that was the moral of everything that was going on, is you not finna chump me. You not finna take my money. I don't care if I got this, that, and the third. Nigga, boop, 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 boop. No. First of all, I personally feel like, I know it's something that guys do for, kicking it tight vibes.
Right.
But after a certain tax bracket, I'm not about to be shooting no dice with nobody.
Oh, that's a fact. And that's how much Las Vegas on a crap table some motherfucking
Like,
way.
but that's different though. You know what I
That's what
mean?
I'm saying. That's the
different.
only street shooting
that's
dice with a nigga.
it's control. It's under. You know what I'm saying? That's what you there for. You know what I mean? I'm not picking
Only
a corner
way.
outside of a spot. Me and my homies crawling up. We're shooting your homies crawling up. Nigga, and I got on.
And these niggas was shooting
$1,000
dice.
chains
These niggas was shooting dice outside of an establishment.
That's
Nigga,
what I'm saying.
how niggerish can you be?
Right.
You don't even
So
own
it's
said
already
establishment.
So
It's
some
not like
crazy
you was
shit
in
gonna
front
go
of your
down.
studio and no shit like that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's like it's just certain shit you don't do. So it's like, in a sense, it's like you put yourself in a situation because this ain't even who you are no more. You're not like, not to say like, you know, forget where you came from or anything like that. When you do get up and bigger, but there is a very vague understanding of jealousy, envy. You know what I mean? These guys you shooting dice with, they got money, but they ain't got money like you. So they hitting you on the head, take your money, bam, 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 bam. They automatically feeling big and macho. But now you looking like, you know what I mean, to your homies. Now you starting to talk shit, then it's starting to be a bite. Then one person said the wrong thing, it's ka.
So look, even if they did have enough money as you take that shit to a neutral ground like Vegas.
Yeah, somebody nigga go to Vegas. Y'all niggas want to do some real gambling, nigga.
Right,
like,
you ain't got to be in front of these people's establishment. You know, because from what I heard, it was like a bowling alley or like
they were
party
at
place
like a
where they had
regular
like all
place.
types of shit, right?
Yeah, they were at like a regular place.
The place was shutting down, and all of a sudden the dice. Well, I don't know if the dice game was going on while the shit was open. I really don't know how that went, but the dice game was happening in front of these people's establishment. But because they were who they were, it was letting them niggas be niggas. Which is outlandish because I'd hurry up and seek security on their ass.
I'd shut all that shit down if it was my
establishment. In front of my shit, we closing. Y'all on some bullshit. That's what I'm saying.
Sitting outside. No, Jesus, take this to your kingdom. Don't do none of that shit in front of my
establishment. Is closing. Y'all got to get the fuck up out the way.
Like, I got to go home, but y'all not about to sit here and shoot that in front of my, no, sir.
Right, but because they are who they were, they let them niggas be niggas. At the end of the day.
Some things, like, not even to be funny because this is something that's going on like viral right now, but that's a low vibrational act. Like that's something like people do that, you know, you
AKA,
down trying to make a $1 you know, you good with numbers. I'm about to hit these niggas on the head to give me a couple of monies right quick. You know what I mean?
AKA pure unadulterated nigga moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's to the point where it's like y'all out here putting yourselves in situations where y'all know y'all don't sit in those rooms with those kind of people. You know what I mean? So with that,
at least you shouldn't be.
You're opening yourself up to whatever the fuck could happen, which happened. Like you're putting yourself in those situations where it's people that envy you, people that are jealous of everything you got. So if you start hitting me over the head, of course I'm gonna shoot you. You about to go home to millions of dollars. Why you think I'm about to sit here and let you take my little 7 reds?
Well, look though, in that fact though, don't play the game. Sit your ass over there. If you can't afford to lose it, don't play. But I don't think that's what it was.
People don't think like that.
I don't even believe that the incident happened over the dice game. I believe they were shooting dice, and the incident happened away from the dice game. So, but even in that fact, you know, so I say that to say this. Regardless of the reason, and you shouldn't be up in no polls
over nothing.
Right.
Like, if we're not at war and some shit going down, and you trying to, you know what I'm saying, do this to my family or something, like, I personally don't like guns because people run to guns for anything. Like, my God, it'd be the simplest stuff. People are losing their lives.
See,
basketball.
And the producer, the ultra motherfucker, the man in the chair. If we were superheroes, he'd be the man in the chair.
Definitely.
They'll hit us with some
shit.
Inside,
watching everything.
And they talking shit over basketball. So a nigga life was worth whether Kobe Bryant or LeBron James was the greatest ever. A whole nigga had to die because Steph Curry shoot better than Reggie Miller. Like what the fuck?
The level of praise put around certain things that can up or a person like that. Me personally, I don't give a damn for sports. So there's nothing you can say to me about basketball, football, baseball, soccer, tennis, anything that ain't gonna have me sitting just like this.
But that goes back to the mental health aspect of our conversation, right? Like it's something in, and I don't even want to say the youth. It's something in people
Yeah,
because
and that
I've
subconscious
heard
mind.
stories of people going at it over shoveling snow, in between a neutral walkway or some shit, or what I'm saying,
Yeah,
motherfuckers, dogs taking too many shits on their lawns. You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's a thing in people. I'm not even gonna say black people, just in people.
In general, in the
Right.
subconscious mind of our human folks, that it's like a trigger.
But is that
And
considered a mental illness though? Is that what that
yes,
is
if
though?
it's not, it should be, because it's a lack of control. It's a lack of self-expression. It's a lack of understanding how to communicate, and it's a lack of understanding how to understand another person. You know what I mean? Like, I personally love how, yes, our youth is embracing healthcare, like mental health care, like they speak their minds. You know what I mean? Back in the day, in your generation, you guys were more so about, you know, what it is, what it is. You know what I mean? Like if my mom say this, say that, da 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 da. Whereas my generations, we going back like, no, because da 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 da. We gonna rebuttal and let you know how we feeling about things, and it's great, but at the same time, like the lack of communication, like talking and being able to take in what somebody else says and not react every single time, it's ridiculous. The lack of that in this world is ridiculous. And I feel like you said conflict resolution should be at minimum an elective in high school,
Man,
in school in general, because that would save a lot.
okay. So look, I
Mhm.
don't know anybody
Like
who's
I like,
been through
that's
therapy.
a hard one.
In terms of like, but then I don't be in people business, man, and I've been gone for a minute, so I couldn't really answer that question. But as
Coming
far as I
from
know,
what I know,
when we was kids coming up in different situations, the county would appoint us therapists and shit, and we had talked to motherfuckers and shit. But at the end of the day, that shit didn't go past like 8 or 9 or 10 years old, like when a nigga in junior high school and shit like that. Nigga wasn't thinking about no therapy. But my situation wasn't one of therapeutic need. I was having a fucking ball through those days. So, I
yeah,
mean, shit, I, I couldn't answer that question, bro. Like, I couldn't answer that question at all because outside of my prison time, my life was fantastic.
yeah, which is beautiful. It's crazy because you don't hear many people say that. But
It was
but
my
I
shit.
would
I
definitely
had a
say,
ball in
from
high
what I
school,
know,
junior high school,
from what I've
everything.
seen, the issue of therapy is pressed in the hood these days, but it's the receptiveness of where that person comes from. You know, if you come from a family where they don't talk about anything, they gonna think you telling them they need therapy is you talking shit. They gonna
Right.
think you telling them they need therapy is a problem, something's wrong with them. When it's like, no, babe, you need to talk. Like you got some stuff in you that's on you that may not even be yours, that you need to let off, get out, move on from, release from. So I feel like it is a thing in the hood, but the hood isn't receptive to it. And
Mm.
that's why I say it's important for people like me that are lights in other people's lives that provide that therapy without making me feel like something's wrong with me. You know what I mean?
So for me, right, I have a problem with actually trusting the word of a motherfucker who don't know me. And in
Why?
therapists, personally, I mean, just in terms of trust, like I'm receptive to what anybody got to say, and if it hits. Like I'll take it all in, right? But in terms of clinically, because you get paid for it, because you hear so much and you liken so many people to so many different scenarios, it feels like they just clump you into one section
Like
and
sex,
just
yeah.
you know
I
um
get that.
but that's me. That's why I prefer to pour my shit on my uncles, my homies, niggas that I know me, because they could really tell me, nigga, you tripping, nigga,
Right.
this ain't you, and I could be like, you know what,
You're right.
you right, you know what I'm saying, because these niggas know me, right? um And not to say that therapy isn't good for everybody. That's not what I'm trying to say at all. Everybody seek that if you
No,
need
but
that. Matter of fact, I recommend it. But
how you receive it, and how you, like you said, you don't trust a folk for real that you don't know to
well, I mean, just the
tell you,
fact
you know
that
what I mean?
I believe that advice should be free, even if it's advice for your mental health, right? And I don't know if they're, I mean, they got some suicide hotlines and all of that popping off, but I don't
That
know if
shit is
it's.
not enough. That's really
But
what
that's
people
what I'm
that
saying,
just
right?
they're trying to tell
And
you, oh, don't do this, don't do that. And if they feel like they can't tell you that, they send some puppies to your house. That's
I
not
mean,
even
especially if it's something that can save you and maybe a few other people's to thousands of other people's lives. Like, why would a motherfucker have to pay for that type of shit? You know what I'm saying? But because they make you, I just got a problem with that aspect. Plus, like I said, it's way too many people who have been in my life that know who the hell I was from, infantry to the general I am now. You know what I'm saying? My whole career fought all the shit that will
yeah,
give me honest opinions, who I really know what the fuck and don't have a problem with telling me what the
yeah.
fuck. You know what I'm saying? So,
You know better.
but
You know this ain't you. This ain't,
right, and my people will do that, for me. So, um being grown as opposed to being a kid, I'm way more receptive to it now. Because
Yeah.
as a kid, you really couldn't tell me what the shit. But um, you know, still fucking great advice from great people kept me, without no extra holes and no bullshit ass jackets going through the bullshit I had to go through. And ultimately keeping me from going back. So all that shit count. At the end of the day, everybody needs somebody to talk to, right? Which again goes into our next topic. My man Kanye, who feel he ain't being heard by nobody. So he just hopped on the airwaves to get it
Well,
off.
Kanye right now, for me, it's not a what you do, it's a how you do it.
Mm.
Because in the recent, past week, how he's doing it is how he should have started off doing it. Because people are more receptive to what you're saying. But you caused such a freaking uproar, crying for help. Now everybody looking at you like you crazy, my boy.
Cause ain't nobody listening to my man though.
I hear what you're saying, but at the same time, how you're getting it off now, being unapologetic, but being sincere and understanding and putting it in different perspectives so we can understand where you coming from.
Can't do that. The difference in the shit that he goes through daily as opposed to the shit that we go through daily, that shit ain't go ever.
No, 110, and he under contract.
That shit ain't go ever.
There's a whole bunch of different reasons why he can't do this,
So,
that, and third. But I just feel like Kanye needs to. Well, yay, sorry, legally, yay.
right, let's not do that. Cause
find
my
a person that is not of stature, going crazy, judgmental. You know what I mean? Pay me this amount of money to hear your problems. He needs a real, genuine cat that can just hear him and reflect with him and meditate with him and pray with him and help his mind get clear. Because I feel like Kanye has so much things going on in his head. Like, I still believe it's a clone, but I don't know. If it's not, he needs help. You know what I mean? If it's not,
okay, so
he needs help.
So with the mental health aspect of our conversation, because it is, I don't know. Don't let me get to quoting shit that ain't quotable. Don't quote me, boy, because I ain't said shit. In the great words of Eazy-E. Allegedly, indeed. That my man is diagnosed bipolar, right?
Okay. But half of our black community is diagnosed bipolar, but whatever.
But I mean, I'm just saying in terms of what I know in terms of his mental health, right? And if he is on meds clinically, okay, so do you think it's more like a Britney Spears situation, like somebody? Well, he ain't got nobody though. He has no.
But yes, he do. He has these background people that we don't see.
Nah, man, I'm talking about in terms of family. I'm talking about in terms of people he can trust, like. Because I believe if his moms was still alive, conservatorship would be hers. Especially if this nigga was still going on type of shit that he going on, she probably gave that nigga a whooping. But I mean, I don't know. But I mean, he don't have no, like I said, no uncles, man. No. I mean,
from what it seems like, Kanye is just here.
Oh no, man. I don't know, man.
But I
Like,
feel like I don't know, like he all that money. He need to go wherever Dr. Sebi is from and just tap into his natural self.
I
You know
think
what
you
I
need
mean?
to. I
Be
think you need to
naturally
hook up.
born by the earth and just let it all off and be free. Because I feel like through a lot of Kanye's life, a lot of people have been in it. You know, he's been in the industry for a long time. Before his mom died, after his mom died, through the births of his children, his divorces, everything. All her relations, everything has been so public. She's never really had a time in a long time to really offload and disconnect from seeing all this shit everywhere he turned. You know what I mean? Or to be able to even process the shit without somebody else's opinion being thrown on it.
Especially after his mom's died.
That's what I mean. And that was a big, big, big mentally turning point for Kanye. So for people like, oh, he's bipolar, he's bipolar. I would be bipolar too if I got all this shit going on and I can't even personally process it. Why wouldn't you be bipolar? You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like people like that have the funds and the means to do these things, it is important to disconnect, especially
So
if you're in the limelight.
So I believe you need to go ahead and hook up with Dave Chappelle, had a nigga Dave, take that nigga where he went to in Africa when he walked away from that 50 mil and go ahead and collect himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because the nigga
yeah.
Dave came back on fire.
But that's real though. But that's like, people don't understand, especially us as a black community. Like, our minds are warrior minds. We come from slaves, we come from goddess, we come from gods, or people that, you know what I'm saying, really be
Hey
having shit
man,
together.
do you know that I have Pharaoh's blood running through my veins right now?
Have what?
Pharaoh's blood running through my veins right now.
That's
As
what
do
I'm
you.
saying.
As do you. You are my daughter.
That's what I'm
Right?
saying. So, and I've always known this about myself, but that's what I'm saying.
Literal Egyptian royalty.
In the likeness of our real spiritual essence of where we come from. We come from very, very strong people, very, very strong entities that have had, you know what I'm saying, crazy asses that they had to overcome. But I feel like something back in the back before Christ times and all that was important was disconnecting and reconnecting yourself.
Well,
And
yeah.
that's something that the world has lost enough, like that has
Still
caused a
to
lot
this
of
day. That's
yeah.
why, meditation is so important. That's
Important,
why prayer is
exactly.
so
But
important.
how
That's
many
why,
people do you know
you
do
know,
that? I've tested out and been in a room full of people, right? Like just hanging out with my friends, like 5 or 6 people plus me. And I've tested out like sitting in the floor, y'all, let's meditate. Do you know how many people looked at me like I was crazy?
about all of them.
Exactly. That's crazy. Y'all don't know how to really stop and not.
But that shit's
Just be.
important though.
It's
That's why yoga
important.
is so dope. Because breathing technique, stretching, you
All of
can't get no
that.
better than that.
All of that. Because if the world, everything around you just constantly going, you constantly going with it. You're not on your own lane. You're going with whatever's going on around you. I'm not surprised you're going crazy because this world is crazy.
Yeah.
It's like you're not taking a step back from it and disconnecting and reconnecting where you belong. So it's like a lot of, especially our community, like, man, and I've seen it in the Caucasian community, the Asian community, they know how to take a step. They're going to separate, okay? If that's going on a vacation to the third world country, hanging out for a few weeks over there, not being in the United States, or if it goes to like the Asian community where they have specific times where they meditate and take care of their, families, and or dinner time, the time we all come down, mellow down. You know what I mean? Like, it's like there's no healthy way of expressing emotions and damn shit, love.
So let me ask you this: do you think black people, as a race, getting further and further away from the church? Not to say that, because it's a whole lot of black people in the church still, but the younger generation coming up and becoming more spiritual have a lot to do with the way people process right and wrong. Because I believe that could be a mental block as well. Like, I mean, not to say that church bogged the nigga down and beat a nigga up, because I'm by far not a religious person at all. But I'm a good person. So I don't know how that mental health struggle goes. Again, I didn't really have no complaints. If I just did what I was told to do, I'd probably be way better off.
Yeah.
But I know that, and I can't say that many people do, especially those that are suffering from some type of mental,
Yeah.
illness or mental health issue. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people really just need to be felt in terms of listened to. Need somebody to talk to that they trust, man. Like I don't think just talking to any old body, including
It's gonna
therapists.
help now because you gotta have that connection. But I feel like in terms of what you was asking about the right or wrong thing, I feel like the right or wrong essence lives in our subconscious. You know what I mean? We get hunches, all that stuff. As a community, sometimes we go against that because we don't know how to understand and read that. So, in turn, it goes into I knew like you said, you knew you was raised by great people, but you was having a good time. So whatever the fuck happened. You know what I mean? So it's like
more instinct and
it's disregarded. We come from a level of where, you know what I'm saying, now going back to the black community, a young man will be like, and be disregarded. And then when it comes to himself, he gonna disregard the thought as well because naturally around him, he's disregarded. So it comes from a disregarded energy. I feel like as a black community, we have a lot of disregarding energy towards our people. So our people disregard themselves, which leads to a lot of these situations.
1 second, I gotta shoot a disclaimer out there. I don't believe in organic therapy. I believe in organic therapy. I don't believe in clinical therapy, but that's just me. I urge those who do to get it in because it's definitely needed.
I mean, I was the type of person like I had psychiatrists and all that because I ain't gonna lie, I used to be a little emo cutter kid, but it was because I had the idealization I wasn't being heard around when in all I wasn't listening to myself. I was going against everything in my head, and it caused mass confusion, which caused me to be super depressed and also looking at other people's lives. It was just a whole bunch of looking at the outside and not looking in, basically. Right. And I feel like a lot of other people do that. So like you said, in organic therapy, it's not going to work for people that's worried about, because you, like you said, you getting paid to do this. You don't care about me. You know what I mean?
That's how I feel.
And it never worked out for me until I met somebody that was a therapist, but her and my mom were friends. So I related to her on a different level. We took it out of the chair. We took it into the nature. We took, you know what I mean? Making it more raw, making it more real. That's when I was like, okay, I can actually make some breakthroughs here, because I know she ain't worried about a clock. She looking at the time every 5 seconds to see if our 30 minutes to an hour is almost up.
Right.
Because you're not really listening. You're just
calculating.
Oh, okay, I'll see you next week.
Calculating and assessing. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. You just want to put a stamp on me as the type of person I am, and that's not the way it goes. So I feel like inorganic therapy, it helps for some people, because some people do come from families where they just can't talk. So talking to someone will make a difference.
Counts, right? That shit counts.
But for the people that just feel misunderstood, have people to talk to, but don't feel like they will understand, that's where more organic therapy comes in, because it's needed. People need to be heard. Like you said, Kanye, maybe he just needs to go sit in somebody's chapel and just have somebody's father just, okay, tell me, Kanye, what is
hang out on a reservation with a couple
chiefs, or somebody, you know what I mean? Something. He might just need to just talk and not have nobody respond to him. You know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about a 3 hour of him just crying, drooling, because I just, he probably need one of them. Perhaps. You don't need your response. You don't need your backlash. He just needs your ears. And maybe a hug at the end.
Perhaps.
Comfort. And there's a lack of comfort in our community as well. So it's like seeing how everything happens. It's a lack of sincerity. It's a lot of comfort. It's a lack of communication. All these different things that make up healthy mental. We don't have those within our community. In our community.
And I think that's the key. That you say that, because I can't say this. Um, it's never been a time to where I didn't feel comfortable in my life, and I guess that's why I look back on the bullshit that I did and be like, even with some sort of, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. I guess I was in my element. But not only that, though, I knew my people loved me, man. Like, I didn't go into nothing not thinking I was finna. I don't know. It's weird as shit. But I know it's a lot of people that don't have that type of situation. You know
Yeah,
what I
they
mean?
they ain't
So,
got nothing to lose.
right. And
You say
that's just not exactly
like
how I felt. It was more like Indiana Jones going on an adventure. And then I got arrested.
I
And then
totally get
end up going to prison.
it.
Adventure over, nigga. You
That's
tripping.
what I
You know what I'm
mean.
saying?
Like that's that disregarding of you knew better, like you said. But
Right. I knew better.
come on now, like that is one of those things, which is totally okay because you were a person that explored. You were a person that went against the grain. You were a person that you know what I mean.
Right.
Your video own drum, which led you into some places, because it's not
But I
what you do,
mean,
it's how you do it. You know what I
and I'm
mean? So
and going into comfort, like I'm comfortable talking about it because I grew up in a comfortable environment. Like
yeah,
so I don't understand, but that's why when you said comfort, it struck a chord with me because that shit's important
it's very important.
as hell,
It's very important. I have a friend right now that been
man.
through something her whole life that she's never been able to express other than to me and probably a few other people in her life. But to her family, there's no comfort there. So even as an adult, her bringing the problem up, it's like a boom. Because don't nobody got no sense of, oh, I'm so sorry that happened to you. Or it's like, why didn't you did it da? Or why didn't you did it do? You know what I mean? So it's like, we just gotta be more nurturing to our people, man. Like, and that's me. I always come on a light nurturing tip to people. Like, I could talk to a stranger on the street and make them feel like I love them because I do. I love all people. I love everything and I love everyone because that's what this world is missing right now. Love, compassion, understanding, real, raw. You know what I mean? And that's unconditional, regardless. I don't gotta know you, but I know you are a person, and I know that somewhere inside of you, I mean, you may be a bad person right now, but there was a light in you once before it was then. So I'm gonna hold on to that and say, bless you. I pray for you, and I want the best for you. I carry that light with anybody. I could see somebody doing some crazy ass shit to one person and look at me. They ain't gonna do nothing but smile at me because I ain't giving you no energy. I'm giving you love, energy, like. You know, I'm saying, that was wrong, my boy. But I got you though. But that was wrong. On some stuff like that.
I kind of carry that same energy. Only I, okay. So when you grown or when just past a certain point, I believe, nigga, like I realize, nigga, you know better. But again,
Oh
my
yeah, but
situation is different.
people hurt
But as
people hurt
kids,
people.
though, kids get all the bail, especially if they haven't been raised in the situation I've been
I was
raised
about to
by.
say, but
Like
why
these
only
niggas
kids
got to
though?
go through because they got to go through their shit, man. You can't
But
really.
some adults go through that shit and they don't really get through that shit though.
That ain't
So
my
it's like
fault,
you gotta give the
nigga.
leeway everywhere.
If you've been on this earth past, man, I'm gonna say 30 years. We just go cut it off at 30.
That's not fair because I'm
And
only 4 years away.
yeah, but that's not a problem. But we gonna say 30, right? And then after that, if you ain't making grown people decisions, then I don't know what to tell you because
No,
life in
I
itself
wholeheartedly feel that. That
should
right
gear
there,
you in some type of direction. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I wholeheartedly feel that. But then there's people out here that have been 30, 40 plus years, but they're lost because they
Yeah,
don't
but
have that
but is that a
compassion
mental?
in
I
them,
mean, but
that
is that
guidance in them. They don't come from people that teach them not even right from wrong, but just understanding what you're doing and know what you're doing and know that ain't right. This is
but
not
does
good
that
for you. They just trying shit, whatever fall, whatever break, whatever If it
okay?
work out, hey. If it don't, all right, next fuck
So
up, here I come.
so let me ask you this: do you think mental health issues come from experience or from birth? Because you
Ooh.
have people that are raised in some of the best conditions in terms of money, not having to worry about shit, and still end up murdering their parents for more. Like, do you think it's a genetic thing or a experience thing?
It is a genetically experienced thing because listen to what I'm
Genetic
listen to what I'm
experiences.
saying. Our body is like how water, like they take on memories of everything. You know what I'm saying? Our cells. It's like rushing through our body, like how we have slave ancestors. That drive, that I ain't going, is in us because we have people that have gone through that and we feel. So it's like it passes on through the generations. So it's a genetically experienced thing. Ourselves, remember, it goes on into our kids, and like that's why I feel like therapy stuff is so important, or listening to your child is so important, because generational curses, that shit comes from the genes on the inside. That shit don't come from just what the people doing on the outside. Because you got people in your family that do drugs. You got people in your family that's millionaires. But y'all still have that same fucked up mental somewhere, because it comes from your family. How you do it, how you know what I'm saying, maneuver around it, that's your business. But we all feeling that same hurt. So I feel like it's a genetically experienced thing. And that's why I personally am happy that we have this platform where we could talk and we could break down barriers and be able to stop these things from continuing to flow through our, you know what I'm saying, our veins and into my kids and into my generations to come. Because I want to open up that level of understanding, communication, compassion, and bring all that shit back in.
See,
do this for everybody.
So look, right. I believe that same way, because there's an exact reason why it's a lot of those who are in better economical situations that have the worst lives ever, and they'll show us all the shit that they know we care about, but behind the scenes, you know, they plotting and planning on, you know, knocking people down, and you know what I mean, like on some serious shit.
Yeah.
Black people inherently are lights for everybody. We are the beacon of, you know, the creator, whatever that may be to you.
We are sun children.
Exactly. So I believe that it's hard to stop us. You can't stop the sun until it stops itself. So that's pretty much the way we live, because only we can help us. Like we knock ourselves down. It's not like, you know, we out there on our so-called serial killer shit, and you know what I mean? Like it's different until we can get that switched. However, we'll never be as great as we should, because we're knocking down
it's like an envious thing. We're taught to be just each other. We're taught the only person have that, can't do this. When it's like, when we get back to that all is one and one is all mindset, it don't matter whether you have $10 million or two. You still likeness of a person. It's a separation. Like I learned, not even trying to be funny, I hang out with different likes of people for a reason. I'm just trying to understand what we got lost as a community, as a whole, as a unity.
No, that makes sense.
To have kingdoms. What happened to us?
Well, that's a whole different, because the layers of that, because of our age and how long ago that was.
To how we're seeing each other, though. Like, I've been in a room full of, let's just use white people for example. White families, they have their kids. You know, you got that one drug addict.
So hold on right quick, just to say this right quick. So do you know that? Okay, you're 28, right? No, you're 26, right?
Yes, that's it.
So, do you realize that there was a point in time on television that you hardly ever seen black people, especially in commercials?
Yeah.
Like it's completely ingrained in us not to see ourselves as beautiful, because all the things that dealt with beauty. Powerful. Right. So we crawling out of a deep ass hole in terms of image, which kind of fuels what you know. Like, if Africa was a monarchy and we had a king of Africa, and we knew that was, you know, what we was and what it was, and it was documented, you know, if it was hardcore, you know what I mean? If we hadn't been snatched away from what we are, I think we'd be in a completely different situation.
Of course, because think about it. All these different people are building their stuff up off of that likeness that we had. All the things that was taken from the image and the stature. You know what I mean? Like, man.
Or patriarchy, like, excuse me.
A lot of, it's so hard to say, like, I'm trying to put into words just like in my head. It's like, I can't say it.
No, I know because okay. So here's the thing, though.
Look, I would sound crazy. I can't put it into like this words, layman's terms for the people to understand. Like,
For us to be where we are, it's kind of crazy for those who don't want to fathom the greatness that we come from to actually
yeah,
fathom that shit. So
because
it's
it's
hard to
such an
rise
it's
above
such
it.
an enlightening understanding.
Okay, so look, it's hard to rise above it because of the images. Like, so when all you see on social media is niggas with money all down their arm, or drill rappers killing their enemies, or women just completely shaking their ass for no reason at all. Well, to get likes, I ain't gonna say for no reason, but I mean the images that we see,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, are led by us. So I mean, I believe the shit that you see drive mental health issues as well.
oh,
And not
110%.
let
I
alone
have
with the shit that
to
you live
take a
through.
step back because I caught myself reflecting off other people's lives, like people that are younger than me, that are like literally billionaires, and I'm just like, bro, what the fuck am I doing wrong? But I'm not doing nothing wrong. I have
I
to
mean,
be able to appreciate all that is coming to me before it comes to me, or I'm gonna be right back where the hell I'm at right now because of the decisions and the moves I'm gonna make that ain't gonna be right. You know what I mean? So it's like I be having to literally like not even look at my phone because it's just so many things that keep me in such a down state of mind because of the shit that I'm seeing that I don't have or that I want that I wish I had. And it's like I try to like stop looking at things from an envious standpoint because that's another thing that I see a lot of our people doing too. They are so jealous, or I want this and I want that. Instead of saying like I want what is for me, they're saying, "Oh, this nigga got Lambo. I want that Lambo, that color." You know what I mean? It's like you're asking for things that ain't for you, and little do people know it messes up your self-image because to yourself, you tell yourself you're not enough. In some way, you tell yourself, "Oh, I ain't got that, so I ain't good enough."
So
Or why they
don't get
got
me
it, they must
wrong,
be
right?
better.
I believe a healthy dose of anything can be good, and I believe a healthy dose of that, especially young niggas getting money, can be motivational
But it's
for
motivation
niggas to
though.
get up off this
And
shit.
envious is
But
different.
right,
No,
exactly. But you can only get envious if niggas is throwing it in your face. That's why I said healthy dose is always a good thing. But it has to also be given in the right way, like in terms of business, in terms of building a community, buying up houses,
yeah.
and gifting them to whoever needs
Other
them.
people.
Like right,
That's what I
like
was going to say. Like
the
earlier,
flaws
it's
got to
like
be way different. I believe if the
folks look
images were
up. They
different,
look out for their folks. Like
right,
for instance, um, like what I was saying, like about white homes and black homes, stuff like that. A white kid in a white home, they turn 16 to get a car. You know what I'm saying? Their parents have been putting into a bank account for them so they could live, or they turn 18, their parents buy them their first apartment, put them da da da. Whereas in our community, it's like you get older, you gotta start working for your own shit. You gotta start doing your own shit. You got to. Little do they know, it's a stagnant thing. That does not build your kids up. It
right.
it stops them because they don't see that support. So then they're going off of, oh, I just got to do this to live. I just got to do this to live. They're not actually learning and actually experiencing properly. That's why it's like, I just feel like that kind of, again, come back to the compassion, is gone. Because after a certain age, in our communities, it's fend for yourself. I got to figure it out for myself. When in realness, if your mom would have looked out for you, you would know how to look out for me. And that's how generational wealth becomes a thing.
Well, kind of, but a lot of
And I
it
mean,
comes
in
from
aspects of, if you got a good ass idea and I got the money, we could put that together. Whereas in the black community, they're not gonna do that because they gonna think, oh, he just want to use my money to da 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 da, and they ain't even go work out and blah 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 blah.
I don't even believe that's the truth. I just believe
I
that
just seen it so many times.
I believe that black people, niggas got to see it. Niggas got to see it before they do it. Like they got to see it work.
But you can't. It's in my head.
But you can't.
You gotta believe in me.
You gotta find.
I gotta believe in me. We
You
both
gotta
gotta believe
find.
in order for it to become a thing.
You have to prepare your own belief and then have those follow behind that. Especially with us.
100.
Hold on. Especially with us because we've been, hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray so
Yeah.
many times, even by our own people. So, niggas can give advice out the side of their ass, especially on some shit that they think that they know. But, if you're showing a motherfucker, then, it's a lot easier for them to jump on the motherfucking bandwagon. It's like any kind of sports team, right? Like, only the loyal ride with you when when the team is doing bad. Those who just hop on to feel like winners are called bandwagon riders.
Me.
You have to accumulate as many bandwagon riders as you can, and the only way you can do that is by winning, right? Because those bandwagon riders will follow you into
Hey, look,
success,
I
right?
don't like sports, but if I'm going to a sports event, whoever wins is who I'm fucking with. Like,
That's what
yeah,
I'm
we killed
saying. So
y'all
that's
niggas.
that's that's exactly
Ah! I don't have
exactly the
no
point of
prior
my
knowledge.
analogy. Exactly the point of my analogy, right? You want to win so the people will follow you. The loyal will always follow you, so you got that. But you want to win so the people can follow you. You have to
Yes,
set
but
that
what if you're in
example.
the stages of like trying to get into that? You ain't gotta win yet, but
Well,
you
that's
like
that.
know you
That's the
feel
thing,
your
though. You
win
have
right
to you
there.
have to be
But
more
you need one more
creative.
key. Like,
You have to let your ambition fuel your own fire. Like, if you know that the people around you ain't with you yet, then you got to procure what you got to procure to get the people behind you then. So you're gonna have to, especially with us, man. It's a lot of people. So a lot of success stories come from these. I was raised by a single home. I've been on the court dribbling 9 times a day because I don't want to be home because my mom was beating my pops was beating my moms, or
yeah,
it was just me and my moms, and I don't want to be up under that shit. I didn't want to live in the house because I don't want to raise the bill. Always some type of struggle story or whatever.
something. Yeah, but
Um,
you don't have to struggle to succeed. Oh my
Right.
god.
That's what I'm saying. But because that's what a lot of us come from, they fuel that in different ways. So it's the same way in terms of if if you can't get the support you need to fuel your fire from the people around you, then you gotta low key fuel it yourself. And in that fact, you may have to seek that energy from motherfuckers outside of your situation.
Yeah,
But that goes into being able to compartmentalize what the hell you got going on, because although the people may love you like that, it's kind of like, yeah, we doing something right now, so kick back. But and you can
yeah.
always get back to your people. But at the end of the day, you got to find that fuel from somewhere else. Because I mean, especially with our people, you got to, it's like
I
we
just
all come
want
from. It's
I
like
just
Mississippi is Africa. You got to show us some shit. You know what I'm saying?
we have it all inside of us, and that's what is so crazy because on my spiritual journey, that's like one of the biggest things that has jumped out to me that just keeps like it's inside of you. Everything is already there. You just got to unlock
Gotta
that
get in
part of
there.
your mind and get that level of understanding and that ascension in that mental area. Like, and it's just so crazy to me because it's like since I've had that mindset, I'm talking about she's be falling out of the sky, all types of opportunities, all types of things, because it's already there. But like you said, that level of belief within yourself or that level of motivation or determination within yourself, if it's not there, everything just seems like a pity pool. You
Right.
can't get forward. It
So
ain't never working out for you. Blah
so
blah
at the
blah.
end
Blah
of
blah
the
blah.
day, as a woman who has been through a lot in your life,
Yes.
um, and has been able to, you know, uh, I don't want to say stave off because uh, uh, you still may be going through shit, and so it ain't no telling. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But being able to live your life and having have gone through a whole lot of shit in your life with mental illnesses or because a lot of people, I think illness is a harsh word, because, but I guess it's a right word.
Misunderstanding. Like
Well,
it's
no,
just
because I mean, because when you say, well, to me, when I hear mental illness, I think serial killer, mass murderer, pedophile, that type of
yeah.
shit.
When really a mental illness is like a code. Everybody get that shit. Everybody got that shit. Something
Right.
ain't right. But what was your question? Because I feel like it was gonna be
That
good.
that you know, what would be your advice to people who just can't seem to, or how would, if you had to start a society and you put mental illness first and how to fix it, what would you do?
Do you really want to know? Because this is the simplest thing in the world.
That's why I asked.
Talk. Literally, talk. Like I said, when I was younger, I never expressed myself. Even just self-expression in general. Not even talking, just self-expression. If something's bothering you, let that be known. You know what I mean? Just a level of cooping it up and holding it in. Man, when I say just expressing in general, however, whether you do graffiti, you do paint, you do paper mache, goddamn it. I don't care what it is. Expressing saves so many lives, stops so many deaths, does so many different things, and talking that way too. Sometimes it's hard to talk because a lot of people don't feel heard. But I have also learned, because I was that person that felt nobody understands me for a long time.
Right.
Very much played victim for a long time till I had to understand I'm not responsible for how you receive something. I'm not responsible for how you feel about it. I'm not responsible however you move after that. I'm not responsible for none of that. But what I am responsible for is being cautious of my feelings and what I'm putting on to myself. So if you know something I don't like and I tell you, you keep doing it, I told you. So whatever I react different is what react different. I'm not still holding on to the fact that, oh, this person keep doing this. Oh, this person keep doing this. Oh, this person keep doing that. No, because I let it out. Letting stuff go, letting stuff out, expressing stuff. People say they're not heard because you're not talking. Put it out there. You know what I mean? Kanye say people ain't hearing him, but we hearing it now because he what? He talking. He putting it out there. Regardless if somebody has responded back or not, get it out. Talk. Express yourself. Let it out. Whether it come out and cussing somebody out, kissing somebody out, hugging somebody out, or punching somebody out. Let it out.
I believe
And
like
usually
that.
if you let it out, it don't come up to the punching and the kicking and all that. Because you've already expressed it, so you don't got that pent up emotion. You know what I mean?
And even if it has to, you can do that shit safely.
Hey, I'm talking about spar. Y'all niggas go to
It's
the
way.
boxing gym, get some gloves, handle it. I'm talking about one time I had a friend. This is a good leaving on tip. It's so funny of how great I am at expressing things that bother me. I had a friend. I went to visit my mama. We had a private rooms, roommate stuff. Me, him, and a couple of my other folks. And I went to Virginia to visit my mom. That's where I was staying in Atlanta. He was the type of guy that put on the front for people. So he the type of he got his room, his bed on the floor. You know what I mean? He ain't got nothing up, nothing going good, nothing nice. So he inviting hoes in my room. Telling them that his room is my room because my room all nice, put together, kept clean, organized, look good. So he humping people in my bed, doing all this crazy shit, right? I find out, I'm like, nigga, what? That's what I did. I wanted to beat this nigga. I wanted to go crazy. I wanted to do all that. Man, I went to TJ and got me some boxing gloves, and I handle him. But I'm talking about, we're not about to get fighting like I'm about to hurt you because I don't want to hurt you because I care about you. But I'm gonna make you feel how I feel, which is very disregarding, very disrespected. I'm about to disrespect you with these gloves and let you understand. I'm not trying to hurt you, but I just want you to understand this ain't okay. And I'm talking about I gave it to him, but in a respectful way. By the end of it, he won't hurt to the point where he couldn't talk or he had busted lips or nothing, but he had them, them gloves got that weight, so you gonna feel that shit. You know what I mean? So he felt me. And after that, he was like, as a man, I've never let anybody do shit like that to me, but I understood why you did it. Because you weren't trying to hurt me, but you just wanted me to understand, like, this shit ain't right. Yeah, handle that shit the right way. I could have easily, wild off on him, scratched his face up, blacked his eye, you know what I'm saying? Did all types of crazy shit. But it's like, nah, I care about you and I love you, so I'm going to respectfully beat your ass in the ring with some gloves so you know what's up with me.
Well, respectfully fuck you up.
Respectfully. Like, it's like back in the day, y'all used to respectfully catch fades. You know what I'm saying? Now everybody's so scary. They're scary. So it's shooting. Did-da-da or did-da-da. Nah. It's a level of respect people have for each other. But you're not going to do me dirty. So you see me. You know what I mean?
So.
Very respectful.
That's hilarious. Okay, but look,
a lot of grown-ass man. I don't even about to play with me, boy. But that.
All right, so look, a couple things. As a mom's comment in terms of overcoming, your journey one step at a time, going through your journey one step at a time. Um, I believe that the people around you aid you in that too.
Yeah.
Um, although I guess you got some people that do it by themselves, which is great. A lot of
Yeah.
journeys
Y'all.
are done with other people, like
Very
even in
strong.
adventures and shit. So, you still need those people around you. I believe that'll help guide you in the right light, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
Um, I also believe that in terms of closing out the conversation on mental illness, it's the kind of thing that I believe clinical doctors make money off of
That's all it is.
black people
That's all that
because
shit
they feel they have no
is.
money, don't think that they have those resources, so they don't take advantage of them. Um, so I believe that we have to find a way to bridge that gap at the
More
end
to
of the day.
discuss.
Right. I mean, we are one of those ways for
Like,
sure. Uh, at
come
the end of the
on.
day, I believe, as you were saying, expression is definitely a key. Although the keys are a few. Um,
Love, compassion,
being
expression,
able to
understanding.
to to express yourself in a healthy way is we need to figure that out. Um, got to get better with conflict resolution, people. Have to get better with conflict resolution, people.
Yes.
Um, I'm not a doctor. I don't know how to deal with actual people who have actual mental illnesses, but I do believe
But
that it's not a I don't believe medicating those people are the
I'm about to
way.
say, it's just a.
Um,
Ugh.
I don't know if just talking to those people are the way, but I definitely don't believe medicating them are the way. It has to be a better way.
Oh, there is.
Um, I do know that we as a people will be better. I believe that through us is a better way. Um, we may not believe it, but I do. So we got to find that way. We got to start caring about each other, man.
I
Just
was just about to say,
overall,
I feel
in
like
general.
there's that's that right there. What you just said was what I was about to say. That's the way back. Caring for each other, having
Have to get that.
that brother, my sister mindset again. Everybody's so against each other. Everybody
And
is
it's
this corner,
only
that corner,
us,
this corner,
nigga.
that corner, this corner. That's what I'm saying. That's what I
It's
was trying to
only
say
us,
earlier. Like,
nigga.
it's it's a wedge between our community that's keeping us down. It's a mindset. Like, I personally feel like as a black person and as a black community, we are going through an enlightenment understanding. That's why so many people are becoming spiritual and everything. So that we can get back to the connection of understanding, like, we are the connection. You know what I mean? So it's like, with that enlightenment coming, and some people catch it and some people not, because that's just how life works. Um, I feel like if enough of us catch it and exude that and show that, the people around us that don't have it will start to pick up the pieces and then start to put them into place. But it's like a leader thing. Like, a mass majority of us are going to have to show that. It's okay not to be against your own person. It's okay not to, you know what I mean? And I feel like that's not something that is displayed at the moment, which is totally okay because it takes time. Like, somebody said in the comments, like, it's a day-to-day journey. Like, you just got to take it one step at a time. But I'm taking it one step at a time, and I'm also dropping gems because I know we can make this happen.
Definitely. Hey, man, we are over an hour and 14 minutes.
Oh
So
yeah.
I would call that an episode. But at the end of it, yeah, we got to get better with caring, conflict resolution, man, and talk to somebody. Uh, shit, that has been another episode of More to Discuss, man. I've been
Another
your,
successful week,
of course.
baby.
You know what I'm saying? We do good work. Uh, I do the whole social media things like share,
Like, comment,
subscribe,
subscribe.
all of the
Follow
stuff.
me on Instagram, Matthew.Toj. I follow back.
Yes, sir. And also check out the pond. My boy Mac been hot on this King's Corner and real niggas react to shit. So he's been on fire right now. So y'all go check him out at the
Oh
pond.
yeah,
We doing our
definitely.
shit right now. We love you guys.
Good
Join us
night.
next motherfucking Wednesday. We do this every Wednesday. So we'll see y'all there. Peace.
Deuce.
But I was like,
That's even worse. 'Cause it's
grab
like,
my
why
shit,
you
put it back over me, and tucked into it like a burrito roll myself.
Yeah, that's me for sure. Like you ain't go get
Like,
it
nigga,
this
bitch, you
time.
want to take it this time, right?
You got to pull hard.
I bet you